Movie time with John DeSando and his friends online. So everything is gonna be just fine. From the top down to the bottom. He's gonna let you know if you should stay home or if you should go. Might even yell if it's a spectacle. From San Francisco to Long Island. 'Cause nothing's better than a motion video.
It's Movie Time is produced and hosted by John DeSando. Listen to broadcast shows Fridays at 4:01 and 8:01 p.m. Read reviews and listen to shows online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando,
And I'm Mary Yerina.
and this is It's Movie Time. You know, one of the things that movies, I think, achieve is giving us a perspective on living. Not always the best living, but they do suggest in many cases a better way of living, or at least looking at the way we live. And there's a whole philosophical part of movies that I just really love. Anyway, we have one called Good Fortune, Mary, and because you're my good fortune, I asked you to join me here, and it's always great to have you.
Thank you.
So set it up for us.
So Good Fortune is a rare comedy theatrical release, written, directed, produced, and starring Aziz Ansari.
Yeah.
And we have the well-meaning Gabriel, guardian angel, played by Keanu Reeves.
Can you imagine John Wick playing an angel? I just can't believe this.
Well, he's returning to his comedic roots, I think, where many of us first discovered him.
Yeah, he's the true deadpan. Yeah, all right, so go ahead. So Gabriel,
Do you just want to keep talking
No,
about
I
Keanu's
don't, no.
career? So he's been...
Did you mention who plays Jeff? Did you mention Seth Rogen?
I didn't get a chance.
Yeah, I didn't. I know it. Here you go. You just make me start blabbering. You're good. Go ahead.
Okay. So Gabriel, the well-meaning guardian angel, his main job is to protect people from accidents when they're texting and driving.
I love that part of it.
But he wants to do more. He wants to more deeply help those who he encounters. So he starts looking for a lost soul who, based on Arj, which is the role played by Aziz Ansari's life, he decides to help him by switching his life with that of Jeff, played by Seth Rogen, who is a wealthy tech investor. So hijinks and comedy ensue when those two switch lives, and Gabriel's intention was to show Arj that his life would be worth living, but in the end, Arj discovers that having money really does solve a lot of your problems.
I love that twist.
And so then they're trying to work it back, all three main characters, so that their true lives are restored.
You know, I'm really tough on comedy, and I enjoy this. I never have belly laughs. They never can really make me laugh. But this one I enjoyed, and I especially enjoyed that twist, that it wasn't what we'd expect, that corny interpretation that no, money is going to corrupt you, is going to do that. There is some comfort in having enough money.
Well, this actually ends up being, I think, more of a commentary on the gig economy and those who have to work multiple jobs in order just to make ends meet. And that's Arj's life. He's an aspiring documentarian, but he's living in his car. He does food deliveries for people. He does odd jobs for people. And that's actually how he meets Jeff, who lives in this spectacular mansion overlooking Los Angeles. And he wants to have his garage cleaned. And as they're walking to get to the garage, they're passing all these doors that have opened to these collectible cars that Jeff admits he's never even driven. He just acquires them and has them.
It reminds me of Jay Leno having hundreds of cars. He can't possibly enjoy them other than visually and
It's what he collects.
Yeah, that's what
It's just a high-end collection of fur babies or other types of fad type things. So it's surprisingly more of a commentary, I felt, on that. And when you see the trailer, you immediately think of It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, and let's talk about that later, if we
Sure.
can. I think that's the primary inspiration for this, or at
It
least,
certainly is, but then you see, they trade places, so it takes from Trading Places, I think, as well as It's a Wonderful Life was inspired by A Christmas Carol and Scrooge. So there's a lot of different influences, a lot of different elements. But again, the surprising thing for me was how much of a commentary it was on the gig economy and how good people really struggle to make ends meet and have to piece together their jobs in order to do that. And then how the wealthy class treats them.
sure.
They're invisible to them. They blame them if they don't get enough ranch dressing with their wings and don't tip well.
Yes.
And so and when they switched lives, Jeff, who was completely oblivious, because we find out that his parents were both surgeons and
Right, yeah, right.
he came from a very upper
Right.
class.
Hardly a self-made man.
Hardly a self-made man. He came from a very upper class.
Though I do love Seth Rogen. He has a droll part of him that just appeals to me.
He does, and he makes what could be an unlikable character likable.
Yeah, that's a really
Which-
good point.
He has a propensity to do in most of his roles,
Yes.
where he plays kind of the negative antagonist type role. And he discovers, because of their switched lives, how hard other people have it. So there's redemption for him. There's certainly redemption for Arj to discover when he doesn't want to give up the life that he has. And there's even redemption for Gabriel, who gets fired for stepping out of the bounds of his job.
A little bit.
There's even hierarchy in Guardian Angels.
With his little wings.
And with his little wings, because he hasn't earned his big wings, so he can't fly.
And he likes all the things that we kind of like, our hamburgers and our
Well, he's discovering,
fingers.
yeah, when he gets demoted and has to become human, he becomes Jeff's unlikely companion on trying to earn money, trying to find a place to live. They do end up sleeping in their car, but he has to discover what it's like to eat. And there's a very charming scene when he and Seth or Jeff are at a diner, and Jeff's teaching him how to eat a hamburger, how to enjoy a milkshake, and then eat chicken nuggies, which becomes kind of a rolling joke.
I think at one point he exclaims how great it is to be able to chomp onto that burger. It's a huge burger.
It's a very huge burger. And we mentioned Keanu Reeves earlier. Certainly I discovered him early in his career when he was doing Bill and Ted's Great Adventure and actually Parenthood. And this character, Gabriel, and the way he plays him reminds me of some of that innocence, if you will, of those characters, and very funny delivery, very subtle delivery.
Very, very deadpan.
Very deadpan,
And
but
comes
that's where the honesty and innocence,
It
I
does.
think, comes in, because he doesn't know.
Childlike. He's
Very childlike when he becomes human.
Yeah,
Yes.
and whereas others might, in any of these movies, others might go over the top. He is under the top in his interpretation, which makes it, I mean, people who have commented on this film comment almost initially on what a great presence he is in the film.
Yes, he is.
And I have to give Aziz a lot of credit for trying this, because I think some of these themes are very close to home for many people. For instance, one of the characters I like that's not fully developed is Elena, is it?
Elena, played by Keke Palmer, she
Yeah.
is the love interest of
Yeah.
Arj, and they meet because he's working part-time at Heaven Hardware, which certainly is identifiable by many big box home improvement stores that we all
Yes,
name.
oh, yeah. And so close to the time, to the current time, when I think about the No Kings celebration here yesterday, and her trying to establish a union.
Yes.
You know, and gosh, how many people have been sympathetic to unions over the years, and we've kind of lost even the energy of unions, I think. It's so complicated to be a gig worker.
Very complicated because you're not full-time.
Yeah.
So businesses really are trying to make as much money off of you as they can without offering you sometimes even safe working conditions. And especially when there's a scene where Gabriel gets his first paycheck as a dishwasher. And
Yes, I love
he
that.
looks at the amount of money he's
Very
getting
good.
and he's like, why isn't it more? And the clearly immigrant laborer who's in charge of or owns has to explain to him that you've got taxes to pay, you've got Social Security to pay into, and people forget in this immigrant argument that we're having right now that immigrants pay into those systems
Sure they do,
that
yes.
support our society. And so there's a lot of subtle commentary
Yes.
made about the haves and the have-nots, the wealthy versus the poor,
Yes.
the immigrants versus non-immigrants. And it's a lot of subtle commentary, and it's handled with a lot of humor, a lot of charm. There are a few parts of the script that I felt were flat.
That's always the truth in comedy, though. Yeah, you're right.
But overall, it's a charming, enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
And it's great to go to the theater, as you said, to laugh, belly
Yes.
laugh, and
Yeah.
laugh with others.
Yeah, yeah.
We, in our streaming world, we kind of miss sharing that communal
Yeah.
experience of seeing a film
And
together.
as you're talking, I'm wondering if maybe we have so few comedies now because things have become so dark and foreboding, that they're just not even trying it.
Well, it was interesting. Normally when you see a film in the theater, you've got the trailers ahead of time. And you normally get trailers that are aligned with the film that
Yes.
you're seeing. Not so much. I don't think there's a lot of comedies currently in the pipeline for release, and so the films that we saw trailers for generally were Halloween oriented, scary, and certainly not comedic or intentionally comedic.
I'll tell you what's not comedic are the number of ads that you have to sit through till you get even to the trailers. Car ads and insurance ads and so, I mean, there's just, and I remember back when, before you were born, I never saw an ad in the theater. We thought trailers were ads.
Yes.
And you might get annoyed by that, but these, I thought it was about 15 minutes straight of this, and then when they say get ready for your movie, it's just another ad. You're not even getting there.
But we digress.
Yes,
They
we
do
do.
have to make money, and it's no different than streaming.
All right, so if you want to be further depressed, then go to our podcast, because Mary and I have more to say about the gig economy and ghosts in movies and a bunch of other things. So that's,
Well, I truly hope that I'm able to get you out of your dark mood, because we are talking about Good Fortune, which is a
Oh, we are.
comedy.
And you want to know something? I love the dark. It
I
brings
need
out the
to pull
English.
you away from the dark and into the light.
No, Mary, it brings out the English major in me. All right, so it's going to be on our podcast at WCBE.org, the podcast experience, and it's going to be called Back Talk.
Back talk. See you there.
It's movie time with John DeSando and his friends online. So everything is gonna be just fine. From the top down to the bottom. He's gonna let you know if you should stay home or if you should go. Might even yell if it's a spectacle. From San Francisco to Long Island.